Recently, something has felt slightly off. Not in a way that's easy to explain. Nothing is obviously wrong. Your life hasn't suddenly changed, but internally, something doesn't feel quite right. It's subtle, easy to ignore at first, but persistent enough that you notice it. A kind of quiet discomfort, a sense that something is slightly out of place, even if you can't point to what it is. Most people experience this at some point, but they rarely understand why, because the feeling doesn't come with a clear cause. There's no obvious problem to solve, no clear situation to fix, just a general sense that something feels different. And because of that, the mind starts searching for an explanation. It looks for something external, something concrete, but often it doesn't find anything, which makes the feeling even more confusing. Because if nothing is wrong, why does it feel like something is? What's actually happening is more subtle. It's not always about your external situation, it's about your internal state, the way your mind has been operating over time. When your mind has been under constant pressure, constant input, constant stimulation, it doesn't always react immediately. Sometimes it builds up slowly, until it reaches a point where your experience begins to change. Not dramatically, but enough that things feel slightly different, less clear, less grounded, less connected. That off feeling is often a signal, not of something being wrong externally, but of something being overloaded internally. Your brain trying to process too much for too long, without enough space to reset. And because this build-up happens gradually, you don't notice it as it's happening. You only notice the result. That subtle shift in how things feel. This is why the feeling is so difficult to explain, because it doesn't come from a single moment. It comes from accumulation, days or weeks of constant mental activity, without real pause, without proper recovery. And eventually, your experience starts to change. Things feel slightly less stable, slightly less clear, slightly less like they used to. The natural reaction is to try and fix it, to find the cause, to solve it. But this isn't always something that can be solved directly, because it's not one thing, it's a build-up. And what build-up needs is not more effort. It needs space. Space for your mind to settle. Space to stop processing constantly. Space to return to a more balanced state that doesn't require drastic changes. It doesn't require completely stopping everything. It starts with small shifts. Moments where you're not consuming anything, not reacting, not thinking ahead. Just allowing your mind to exist without pressure. At first, this can feel uncomfortable because you're used to constant movement, constant engagement. But over time, something begins to change. The noise reduces, the pressure softens, and that off feeling begins to fade. Not instantly, but gradually, because your mind is no longer overloaded. It's no longer trying to keep up with everything at once. It finally has space to reset. And when that happens, things start to feel normal again.